It was probably my all-time favorite youth Christmas, and I guess probably the other guys too, because for Christmas we got matching cowboy outfits, which at that point in time, you turned on the TV, and there were only 3 channels, and I guarantee you there's a Western on one of them. I knew early on that there was something special about him because the parents would let us go out and make a little pocket money mowing yards in the neighborhood. Well, when Mark started doing that, instead of getting 1 or 2 yards, he went out and got like 5, 6, 7, I don't remember how many, but But I mean, he literally started a business. He had enough yards that he mowed on a regular basis. He went out and bought a riding lawnmower.
We met at Chesney's. It's not here anymore, the restaurant isn't. But I was sitting with some dear friends, Don and Rita Ash, and Mark came over to introduce himself, and he turned over a drink. And so he sent us all new drinks, but I mean, we just chatted, but that's how we met. And probably 3 or 4 months later, we had a date.
I asked him about one of the ladies that we'd met, and Mark told me, I said, no, I'm focused on this pretty little school teacher, and that was Anita.
And we got married on April the 17th, 1987. So we've been married 35 years. Mark was a man that was so innovative. He could always come up with new ideas that no one else had thought of.
Mark was a force, and I think that really helped not only drive, but it really helped push people to understand, to have an idea and to be able to relentlessly push that. Mark was the guy that you would want to do that.
Well, I always kidded him and said he's a visionary developer masquerading as a car dealer. And he'd just laugh. He wouldn't ever disagree with me, but he'd just laugh. But more than once, when we were in a pretty large real estate deal, he'd get a call on his phone. He said, I've got to go. And it was about selling a car. And I used to kid him about that. I said, you'll walk out of a $1 million deal to go sell a car. And he said, you got to remember who brought you to the game.
I don't know whether I want to credit or blame Mark, but Mark really got me involved in actually running for city council in 2006. I had been on the planning commission since 2000, and we were up in his box at an MTSU game. And he pulled me out in the hallway in true Mark fashion. He's like, hey, I got an idea. And I'm like, well, what is it? He said, I want you to run for city council.
You know, Mark was a consummate entrepreneur. You know, he was always looking for a deal, be it sell you a car, or let's develop this piece of real estate. He had a great vision for seeing what he thought something could be.
That was Mark's idea to initially build the Chamber of Commerce, and that turned into the Red Cross building. And Mark, he always had a vision of being able to take something that was not there and then be able to see how that could benefit, you know, not only in business, but benefit someone else. And that's a prime example of how he did that.
One of the most upbeat, positive people that I've ever met. You know, you hear the saying of, you know, a glass is half full or half empty. Mark would tell you he's just happy to have a glass.
Mark had a place in his heart where he would never say, never. He will figure out how to help someone that's either suffering from alcoholism or drugs. Mark just loved the Lord, and he got his joy from God.
I admired, especially when Mark was diagnosed with cancer. He walked his faith out for all of us that knew him real well. And, you know, you can talk about your faith until you get in serious situations, and then you really see how much faith people have got. He had a very strong faith.
His generosity extended well beyond family. Mark gave a lot of money to a whole bunch of different kinds of organizations in our community. That's good, but he gave a lot of time, a lot of attention to people, and that's probably even worth more.
At his heart, Mark was a true Warren County kid. But then when he came to Murfreesboro, Mark considered Murfreesboro home. You drive through the Gateway, you drive down Broad Street, you drive down Memorial, and there's pieces of Mark that are all in this community.